Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Once someone developed colon cancer. I was not certain how serious it was. His mother in law was a very learned person, well versed in Vedanta. Naturally, her daughter and son in law were deeply emotional. I told her that there was always some good even in demanding situations. Why would I say to her, your son in law must have done something? One never says such things. Her son in law was a doctor himself, and when he came to me, I sympathized with him, not in a patronizing way, but with genuine compassion. I said, you have such a good lifestyle. It is incredibly sad. He told me, Swamiji, I am a doctor. Today you see me as a vegetarian, but cancer does not start suddenly. Very rarely is it an overnight onset. It develops over time. I used to smoke cigars. I used to eat meat. People don't know. You see, goodness has nothing to do with habits that harm the body. You may be very charitable, but if you are chewing tobacco and then ask, why did I get cancer? Your goodness will not prevent illness. Please remember that. I understand, but she was vegetarian. It doesn't matter. It is not only meat eating that causes cancer. Cancers arise from many different causes: genetics, environment, lifestyle, quite dependent on one's moral character or virtue. It is not that Swamiji, it is just I found it very heart wrenching for her to go through that. Do not make it heart wrenching for yourself. You will harm your own health. I am such a good woman. You have done so much for my mother, my son. All these emotions affect the body. What we eat, how we think, how we sleep, and how we sit and rise. All of these factors shape the body. This body will one day depart. How it will go depends on our past actions in this life and in earlier lives. We believe we are doing the right thing, but the law of karma does not depend solely on our thoughts. Emotions matter too. Every time you feel sorrow, your energy drops. Every time you accept joy, your energy rises. Do not brood endlessly. Keep cheerful, be aware, and accepting. Life unfolds for reasons we may never understand. Even today, many of us believe we are doing everything right, eating well, living carefully. We turn to quinoa and millets, thinking they are universally healthy. But what suits one body may not suit another. When I tried millets, it was disastrous for me. Thankfully, I realized it in time. Otherwise, I might not have been here to say this. Please note that traditional foods like bajra, pearl, millets have their time and place. They are meant to be eaten with ghee and yogurt, and only in winter. Yet today, everyone seems to eat them year round without understanding their nature. Clinical tests cannot fully account for individual differences in constitution. Life is like that. We can only do our best with what we know and accept that. In the end, life is inevitable. The sooner we accept that truth, the more gracefully we can live. How death will occur is not in our hands. It may be sudden through illness, accident, or natural heart failure. Some may complain, why did this person suffer so much? Others may feel, why did they go suddenly? But we cannot know, accepting the reality of death for ourselves and for those we love is essential. Would it be wrong or selfish to me to tell my children that if I ever suffer the way she did, I would prefer euthanasia over prolonged suffering? Should I feel guilty for expressing that wish? No, do not feel guilty. Also, trust that God will give you strength to endure as long as you are meant to. Avoid euthanasia whenever possible, but make your wishes clear. Tell your children not to keep you on artificial life support. Make a living will. Otherwise, it is very emotional for them. Someone may accuse them later, or they may feel guilty. Specify in writing that you do not want to be captive after a certain age. When you are young, even with an accident, there is hope. But after 88 or 90, whether one more year or two, prolonging life unnecessarily is not meaningful. Put it in your will so there is no confusion. Otherwise, one brother may say, "You killed my father, my mother." You can confuse further, you can refuse further treatment except for pain relief. You may even choose euthanasia legally where it is allowed, but do not prolong suffering unnecessarily. When someone is in unbearable pain, let them decide. Do not judge them. Ethical use of animal skin in daily practice. I saw my mother using animal skin. We do not eat meat, yet we use the skin to sit on. How is that justified? We are intelligent and practical. We do not kill animals for their skin, but using the skin of animals that have already died is acceptable. Before plastics and rubbers were available, items like slippers, drums, and even temple instruments were made of leather. Leather offers a natural texture and durability superior to that of artificial PVCs. The principle is clear: we do not kill animals to obtain their skin. However, the skin must come from an animal. Why is it at all? In earlier times, people used the skins of animals that had died naturally for practical purposes. In forests, animal skins were used for their texture, soft yet durable. Today, it is neither necessary nor legal to use animal skin. Modern mats and or carpets serve the same purpose. The use of skin in the past was primarily about practicality rather than killing. My mother used to meditate on a deer skin. I always wondered why. That was the practice of that at that time, providing a suitable texture for sitting. Tears that clean. Swamiji, I have a question. Why did Lord Rama have to struggle so much? To make all the sadhus, the good people, happy. We often ask, why am I suffering? But truly, we have done plenty to deserve it. Only each one thinks, I am good, I am the best. You may not be bad, but how many wrong things do we still end up doing? Maybe not with bad intentions, but out of ignorance or habit. For example, today, many of us eat millets simply because they are fashionable, without understanding how they affect your individual constitution. This is just one small example. So often we end up suffering because of our own actions. But Bhagavan Ramchandra didn't suffer because of his actions. Yet when you look at his life, did he ever complain? Did Mother Sita ever grumble? Did they ever stop living their dharma or fulfilling their duties? Did they stop sacrificing even for those who criticized or rejected them? That's idealism. Even now, you all know this. You do so much for others, for your own family, but they don't always turn around and show gratitude. You reach out to many and you don't always get praise. People will criticize, people will doubt, people will neglect. Yet, Lord Rama and Sitaji went through all of that with great grace. That is why they are our ideals. When we see them enduring life's so called suffering with such dignity, it gives us strength and inspiration. Bhagavan shows us how not to be affected by the tribulations of life, and that is exactly what the Gita teaches us. Swamiji, when I watch the Ramayana, I just cry. You are supposed to cry. When you cry for someone else, you wash away your vasanas. When you cry for yourself, you only increase your problems. So that crying, that devotion, that feeling for Bhagavan is very good. Don't feel sorry for him. Cry out of love. Cry seeing how much he does for us and how little we do in return. That kind of crying purifies. That's good crying. The flawed and the fabulous. Swamini Sampratishthananda, the Chinmay family celebrated the 21-day Tapo Gita Jayanti feast from December 5 to 25, 2020. On December 5, Pujya Swami Swarupananda launched the website theholygita.com, a single stop resource for all material related to the Bhagavad Gita available in the Chinmay mission. Pujya Guruji inaugurated the celebrations with his discourses titled Gita Speaks. We present a transcribed and edited version of the talk on the 16th chapter given on day 17, December 21, 2020 by Swamini Sampratishthananda. Swamini is presently posted in Chinmay Gardens, Coimbatore. The entire talk is available at YouTube. Two paths within. In chapter 15 of the Gita, Bhagavan pointed out the one supreme reality, the knowledge of which leads to liberation. This one reality of our life principle expresses itself through identical packing materials made of space, air, fire, water, and earth. Yet no two packets are the same, each one is unique. Is there a way to classify these countless entities? Bhagavan Krishna says yes. In this chapter, he divides all personality traits into two broad categories. The first type is of a noble divine disposition, Sattva Guna Pradhana. The other is of a flawed, ignoble, or demonic nature, Raja Guna or Tamo Guna Pradhana. Divine nature is like a sweetener. When added to water, it spreads its sweetness throughout. Demonic nature, on the other hand, is like mud. When mixed with water, it disturbs and muddies the whole. Those with noble traits spread joy, peace, and happiness around them. In contrast, those with demonic tendencies create agitation, fear, and unrest. Such individuals are like sponges, absorbing everything for themselves, selfish to the core. They constantly ask, what is in it for me? In the company of the noble, we find peace, joy, and happiness, while the company of people with demonic disposition produces agitation and negative responses in our minds. Once a devotee asked Guruji, Swamiji, you have been in the mission for many years. What have you got from the mission? Guruji replied at once, the question, what will I get, has gone, and that is what I have got. In this chapter, the Lord paints for Arjun and through him all of us a vivid picture of these two types of personalities. As we move through life, surrounded by and interacting with others, it becomes vital to ask, who am I and who am I made of? This teaching is not meant for judging or analyzing others. It is a mirror that Bhagavan has lovingly placed before us. We all enjoy looking into the mirror. So let us look within, identify the noble traits that shine within, nurture and strengthen them. At the same time, recognize and steadily eliminate any tendencies that are unattractive or unnecessary. Why be good? People often ask, why should I be one of noble demeanor? Why should I have these noble traits in me? Bhagavan Krishna answers, Daivi Sampad Vimokshaya, Nibandhaya Surimata. Divine qualities lead to liberation, while demonic qualities tighten the bondage of samsara. The more we cultivate divine and noble qualities within, the closer we are to liberation. Asuric tendencies cause sorrows and agitations that keep us bound. We don't like to be bound even physically. We want the freedom to be able to roam around the gardens, listen to the peacocks, and do what we cherish. Worry not, remember Hari. Ma Shucha Sampadam Daivim Abhijatosi Pandava. Grieve not, O Arjun, as you were born with saintly virtues. Bhagavan does not forget anyone, not even those with ignoble tendencies. To them he says, don't worry. Why? Because you have come from Hari. Your very nature is Om. As Gurudev would often remind us, Hari Om, Hari Om. All that is needed is to begin with the practice of just one virtue. The others will naturally follow. It is like an engine. When it moves, all the compartments are set in motion. Or like a chair, when you pull one leg, the entire chair comes along. Mahatma Gandhi chose truth as the value to live and experiment within, and in its wake, countless other noble values blossomed within him. Gurudev's virtues vibrant in action. Just picture someone you love, adore, respect, and trust. Study that person's traits and list the sterling qualities you wish to imbibe. For me, that person is Puja Gurudev. The virtues he lived and taught were there for all to see. courage and purity of intention. Devotees often approached Gurudev with a wide range of problems, which dissolved instantly with his magical vision of Vedanta. All fears vanished with just two words, so what? He embodied tremendous courage and fearlessness, born of purity in every intention and action. When projects undertaken with pure motives, many projects undertaken with pure motives were completed successfully. Gurudev gave us the Chinmay Mission pledge, where the word courage appears thrice, a reminder to walk the path fearlessly, giving, caring, sharing, and more. The Chinmay Mission motto begins with giving to give maximum happiness to maximum people for the maximum time. Gurudev exemplified this through tireless service and unconditional love. He performed every duty, whether small or daunting, with the same dedication. From folding a letter to executing monumental projects, whatever the scale, he worked meticulously. He also taught us to master the senses without being enslaved by them. Swadhyay. Gurudev emphasized daily study, ensuring that not a single day passed without the evening discourse. Arjavam. What he thought he spoke, what he spoke he did. His thoughts, words, and actions were always in perfect alignment. Ahimsa. Hurt none was his policy. While some harm in life is unavoidable, he urged us to minimize it and to live with sensitivity towards all beings. Mastery over anger. Gurudev would say he used anger like a pen, taking it out when needed, using it and putting it back in its place when done. Renunciation and detachment. Once a youngster asked how Gurudev could renounce so many things. Gurudev asked in return, "What do you have in your mouth?" "Bubble gum," the boy replied. "When will you spit it out?" "When the taste is gone." Gurudev smiled and said, "Having seen the senselessness of all objects, beings, and circumstances, I have spat them out." Shanti said, "Life situation often toss us about. Gurudev advised, be like a round bottomed doll. It may sway left and right, but it always regains balance. As soon as possible, return to your equilibrium, your peace." Once, when a devotee said, "Swamiji, don't worry, I will do it," Gurudev calmly asked, "Have you ever seen me worried?" Compassion. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam. In his compassion, he dedicated his entire life for the welfare of all. Be compassionate. Do not cling to possessions or say, "This is for me." Things come and go. Remain kind to everyone, known or unknown. Tejaha. When Sambit Patra, Chinmay Vidyalaya alumnus, was asked what he remembered most about Gurudev, he said, "The glow in his person, the treasure." That is precisely the word Bhagavan Krishna uses, Teja, the radiance of confidence. Gurudev not only shone with confidence but also inspired it in others, encouraging everyone to bring out their best. Utsahavardhakaya Namaha. Forgiveness. Forgiveness came naturally to Gurudeva. He would say, "Does the tongue ever quarrel with the teeth for biting it?" No. It understands they belong to the same mouth. Forgiveness flows naturally when we see oneness in all. Cleanliness. Inner cleanliness is purity of intention. Outer cleanliness is freedom from hatred towards anyone. Once someone asked Swamiji, "Why are some people around you not so good?" Gurudev smiled and said, "Around a doctor, whom do you find? Patients. Around a saint, who should be there? Those who want to become good. That's us. We need to be there." Black, white, and grey. Speaking of Asuri Sampatti, ignoble qualities, Bhagavan says they are essentially the opposites of noble virtues. These flawed personalities seek happiness in this life by any means. Ravana is a classic example. Such individuals place their faith in A. Articles, objects, B. Beings, people, and C. Circumstances, but not in D. Destiny or divinity. What about those who are not entirely asuric, neither completely driven by Rajoguna or Tamoguna, nor fully divine? They are somewhere in between, neither Rama nor Ravana. They may give, but only what they do not need. They may kind, they are kind, but only to those they favor. They speak the truth, but only when it does not harm them. Such individuals are shaped by the qualities they choose to nature, to nurture. What grows within them is determined by what they give energy to. To such seekers, Bhagavan Krishna gives a clear direction. Shastram Pramanam Te. Let the scriptures be your authority, the manual for self-unfoldment. Under their guidance, learn to distinguish right from wrong. They teach us to play this game of life beautifully. If we hold on to them, they will surely show us the path that leads us closer to the divine. Practical methods. Pujya Gurudev encouraged daily introspection. Once someone asked Gurudev, "Swamiji, where can I see you? When can I see you?" "You can see me in my books," he replied. From the list of values enumerated, choose a few, write them down, and every night before going to bed, tick off all the ones practiced during that day. This will help us to move forward holding on to the noble virtues. Root of ruin. Bhagavan Krishna advises us to abandon three things: Kama, Krodha, and Lobha. When a powerful desire, Kama, is thwarted, or someone becomes an obstacle in fulfilling that desire, we experience rage or anger. The greater the desire, the greater the anger. Suppose the desire is fulfilled, then what happens? I want more. That is greed. Thus, the seed or main link connecting Kama, Krodha, and Lobha is Kama itself. Interestingly, in Tamil, the word for desire is asai. When desire arises, happens. What must you do? Sai. Throw it away. Why? Because the more the desire, the more we are bound and the more we are disturbed. This in turn leads to more sorrow. Throw it away. In a nutshell, If I practice all these noble virtues, what will happen to me thereafter? You will reach the highest Yanti Parangatim. In essence, the message is simple: develop and strengthen the Devi Sampatti, which leads to liberation. Do not cling to the Asuri Sampatti, for it only deepens bondage. Therefore, it is vital to fortify a noble and divine disposition. Study the scriptures daily, observe yourself, practice the prescribed noble virtues, cast aside kama, krodha, lobha, and evolve beautifully. Is Bhagavad Gita outdated? Swamini Umananda. This is translated version of the talk in French delivered in December 19, 2020. Swamini is based at Chinmay Mission, Paris, France. This article highlights several key points. To enjoy the complete talk, please visit YouTube. The topic of this talk is the Bhagavad Gita, a timeless scripture that unfolds us a dialogue between Lord Krishna and his friend and disciple Arjun. In this sacred text, profound teachings are shared on the purpose of life and the practical art of facing it with intelligence and clarity. In the Is the Gita outdated or does it still hold relevance today? Those who have studied it deeply and sincerely tried to live its message never entertain such doubts. But for those who have only heard of the Gita in passing, this question may arise, especially when viewed through the mind, lens of modern life. In today's world, scriptural knowledge is often dismissed as irrelevant or outdated, mainly because it is misunderstood or not thoroughly explored. Why is it relevant? First, a simple fact must be remembered. Even though the outer conditions of life have changed and technology has advanced tremendously, certain aspects of life and human nature remain unchanged. Just as in the past, we must still think, act, and make choices, and often making the right choice is not easy. The right choice is the one that brings true benefit, one that helps the situation resolve, and the problem at hand, or at the very least, does not create new ones. We are all familiar with the power of negative emotions such as anxiety, fear, anger, and aversion. When these inner forces are not under control, they can overwhelm and bind us, leading to painful and sometimes disastrous consequences. One thing is certain: if we do not learn a method, a set of operational instructions for living, we can be overwhelmed or even crushed by life's challenges, problems, and trials. The joy of expanding vision. The Bhagavad Gita teaches precisely this method, the art of living. It can be understood in three aspects. The first is self knowledge, to know oneself as an individual. The second is action, to act in the right spirit. The third is expansion of vision, to see life with a broader, higher understanding. Through this art of living, one experiences increasing joy, born of inner calm, along with the deep satisfaction that comes from doing what is right. As this understanding deepens, the individual discovers greater harmony within, and his actions naturally become beneficial to the world around him. Wisdom is not only recognizing the deeper dimension of being within us, from which an indescribable joy arises, but also perceiving that same divine presence in every being, in all creatures, and in everything around us. This is the vision of unity, and in this vision, a profound inner joy unfolds. To unite with this truth is to discover plenitude and joy. Celestial choice by Arjun, Swami Abhayananda. The Srimad Bhagavad Gita is like a radiant pendant in the grand necklace of the Mahabharata, the vast epic of 1 lakh verses. At its heart, nestled within this monumental work, are the 700 verses of the Gita, presented as a profound dialogue. The primary conversion unfolds between Dhritarashtra and Sanjay, within which is embedded the sublime exchange between Sri Krishna and Arjuna. The Bhagavad Gita, set against the backdrop of an impending war on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Dhritarashtra, the blind Kaurav king, clung to power despite others being more capable of taking over. His loyal companion Sanjay was blessed by the great sage Vedavyas with divine vision, enabling him to pursue not only events on the battlefield but also the thoughts and conversations of the warriors. In the Gita, Sri Krishna does not appear as the playful blue boy of Vrindavan, but as the supreme reality, the all pervading substratum of this dazzling world of plurality. But why was Arjun the chosen recipient of this divine wisdom, becoming a worthy seeker? Among the Pandavas, Arjuna was neither the eldest nor the embodiment of righteousness. That title belonged to Yudhishthir, the Dharmaraja, yet Krishna chose Arjuna. Why? To understand this, we must recognize the unique qualities that made Arjuna the ideal student of the Gita. Traits that set him apart and serve as guiding principles for us. Only by cultivating these same qualities can we genuinely absorb the wisdom of this sacred text. Once a devotee told Pujya Gurudev that he had read the Gita multiple times. Unmoved, Gurudev responded, "But how many times has the Gita gone through you?" The true essence of the Gita is not in merely reading it, but in living its teachings. And that is possible when we nurture the qualities that made Arjun worthy of Krishna's divine guidance. Clarity and excellence. Arjun's brilliance was evident from an early age. Exceptionally skilled and intelligent, he excelled in everything he pursued. As a student at Dronacharya's Gurukul, he consistently stood out, what we might call a gold medalist in today's terms. His clarity of purpose and unwavering focus set him apart, ensuring his success in every challenge. He was not the best simply because his guru favored him. He was the best because he earned it. One incident perfectly illustrates his extraordinary focus and determination. While training at the Gurukul, Guru Dronacharya gave a seemingly simple instruction to his wife Kripi to ensure that the lamp did not go out while Arjun was having dinner. Although this request may have seemed trivial, it carried significant importance. One night, Dronacharya rushed to Krupi and asked whether the lamp had extinguished while Arjun was dining. She admitted that it had flickered out for a few moments due to a passing breeze, but she had quickly relit it. What astonished her was that Dronacharya already knew. He revealed to his wife the reason behind his concern. His deep attachment to his own son Ashwatthama had led him to withhold specific advanced archery techniques from Arjun. Fearing that Arjun's skill would surpass his son's, he had carefully monitored his progress. Dronacharya then led Krupi into the forest to witness something remarkable. In complete darkness, the sound of arrows cutting through the air echoed around them. It was Arjun practicing archery in the dead of night. Why? Because in that fleeting moment when the lamp had gone out, Arjun realized, if I can eat in the dark, I can shoot in the dark too. From that moment onward, he trained relentlessly, honing his abilities beyond what even his guru had predicted. Dronacharya now knew that nothing could stop Arjun. Arjun's relentless pursuit of self improvement and his refusal to be complacent defined him. His unwavering focus and dedication to mastery would prove instrumental in the Mahabharata war, particularly during a crucial nighttime battle where his exceptional archery skills played a decisive role in securing victory for the Pandavas. Straightforwardness. The name Arjun, derived from the Sanskrit word ruju, signifies straightforwardness. He did not engage in crooked thinking. When he was convinced about something, his thoughts, words, and actions aligned perfectly. In contrast, most of us struggle with this harmony. We may hold strong convictions but often fail to express or live by them fully. Living by conviction. Arjun exemplified Satyam, which Puja Gurudev described as intellectual conviction, a quality that demands one not only so not only to believe in something firmly, but also to express it sincerely and live by it. This was one of Arjun's defining traits. In our daily lives, we often experience a disconnect between our beliefs, speech, and actions. Arjun's example challenges us to bridge the gap, to ensure that what we think, say, and do are in harmony. Arjun, armed with his bow and arrow, radiates confidence in the start of the Gita. His his language is assertive, his stance unwavering. He is ready for battle. Yet, as the events of the first chapter unfold, doubt and confusion creep in. His mind wavers and he ultimately breaks down, casting aside his weapons and refusing to fight. What makes Arjun remarkable is his honest acknowledgement of his emotions. He does not pretend to be confident when he is not. He does not attempt to impress Krishna or maintain a false bravado. He is unafraid to reveal his vulnerability. When gripped by fear, most people attempt to mask it with noise and chatter. Arjun does not. He is open, unfiltered, and real. When Arjun's commitment, excellence, and straightforwardness made him extraordinary, there is an even deeper reason why he became the chosen one, the recipient of the Gita's divine wisdom, the transformative choice. You become the chosen one through the choices you make. It is not merely luck or chance, it is about making the right decisions in life. One shouldn't take credit for being chosen, but instead create the opportunity for grace to descend by making wise choices. Made a pivotal decision before the war began, one that would shape the course of history. Despite Bhagavan Krishna's efforts as a peace envoy, negotiations failed, the war became inevitable. Both the Pandavas and Kauravas began gathering allies and strengthening their forces. Duryodhan, the ambitious prince of the Kauravas, sought Krishna's support and travelled to Dwarka, where the Lord resided. Entering Krishna's chamber, he found him resting and in his arrogance seated himself near Krishna's head. Arjun too arrived at Krishna's abode, seeing the seat near Krishna's feet. He humbly took his place there. When Krishna awoke, his eyes fell first upon Arjun, whom he greeted warmly. Duryodhana, indignant, announced his presence and demanded Krishna's aid in the war. Krishna, ever impartial, listened and offered them a choice. I am related to both of you and will not take sides. I offer two options. On the one hand, my mighty Narayani Sena, an invincible army. On the other hand, I will stand by your side unarmed without fighting. Duryodhana, eager to secure military strength, hoped to claim the army. However, Krishna insisted that Arjun would have the first choice as he had seen Arjun first. Without hesitation, Arjun said, Bhagavan, I do not ask you to fight. I only ask for your presence. That alone is enough. I choose you. What need do I have for an army? Arjun, a warrior capable of defeating entire armies single handedly, knew that divine grace mattered more than brute force. Duryodhana, relieved by Arjun's decision, thought to himself, thank goodness he did not ask for the army. He gladly accepted the vast Narayani Sena. Later, his uncle Shakuni scolded him, saying, You have already lost the war. Arjuna was given a choice, while Duryodhana was left with whatever remained. Had the roles been reversed, Duryodhana would have taken the army first, leaving Arjuna with Krishna by default. But here, Arjun had the power to choose and he chose wisely. He did not ask for something that belonged to the Lord, he asked for the Lord Himself. That choice, above all, defined Arjun. What do we choose? We need to reflect on ourselves when faced with such choices, as we encounter them almost every day. What do we choose? Do we choose the Lord, or do we select something that belongs to Him? Consider our typical desires. I want wealth, I want success, I want recognition, I want my problems solved. When we stand before the Lord, what do we ask for? Do we ask for Him or do we ask for what He possesses? Pause and think. When we ask for wealth and prosperity, it is in a way inappropriate. Bhagavan is Mahavishnu and his consort is Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth. Imagine standing before the Lord and saying, I don't need you, don't come, just send your wife with me. This is what we are doing. We seek what belongs to Him, but we do not seek Him. Bhagavan still waits in temples for the rare soul who indeed chooses Him. Sometimes we say the words, I want only you. Perhaps we have read such things, failed, inspired, and repeated them. But do we genuinely yearn for Him? Most of us think, I will choose the Lord later. After retirement, we plan to attend satsangs when we have time and life slows down. There was once a retired woman who finally made time for satsang. But she was restless. The speaker noticed her discomfort and asked, Amma, why do you seem uneasy? I can't hear properly, the speaker suggested. Then sit near the amplifier, you will hear better. She hesitated, but if I sit there, I won't be able to see you clearly. This is when we finally decide to seek the Lord, when we can neither see nor hear properly. And what do we learn in satsang at that stage? All the mistakes we have made so far. We postpone our spiritual journey, telling ourselves we will choose the Lord someday. But when will that day come? Arjun did not wait. He declared, This is the time. I want you by my side. Even if you do not fight, I don't want anything else. This was the devotion that made Arjun the chosen one. Because he chose the Lord, he was selected for the Gita. Seek the Supreme. We may have the Gita in front of us, we may read it, listen to discourses, and discuss its teachings, but are we engaging with it through the lens of true choice? Are we engaging with the choice that says, I want only Him, nothing else? It is not just about reading scriptures or listening to wisdom. It's about making a heartfelt decision to seek the divine more than anything else. Choosing the Lord over everything ensures true victory. Bhagavan Krishna didn't remain a distant observer, he actively participated. He told Arjun, I will be your charioteer, so close to you. Arjun's decision to choose Krishna, not just as an ally but as his guide, ultimately led to the profound teachings of the Bhagavad Gita and victory. In our own lives, the Lord is just as close. The question is, do we recognize His presence even without our choosing? He has already chosen to be with us, to be our Sarathi, our divine charioteer. But do we acknowledge Him? Let us become aware, let us choose Him. Thereafter, our victory is assured. Swami Tapovanam, the perfect teacher, Prarthana Sharan. Perfect teaching requires a perfect teacher as well as a perfect student. Vedanta calls it Patrata, the ability and capacity to absorb and retain. The sun gives light to all, but one receives just as much light as one deserves. If your windows are closed, what can poor sunlight do except reach your door and keep knocking helplessly? Gurudev once narrated the following to me. I had to get up early at 3:30 am and heat water for my teacher's bath. After taking a bath, he would go and bathe in the icy cold Ganges water. When I made tea, which kept lying around unused, I used to wonder why he makes me do all these things. He obviously doesn't need it. Then, while still dark, he took the Upanishad class One such morning he chanted the Shanti mantra and then closed the book, saying, "Today, that's all for today, no class." I understood that I had done something wrong but didn't have the nerve to ask him. After some time, I took all my courage in both my hands and asked, "Sir, have I done something wrong?" He replied, "A cat passed from here just now. Did you see it?" When I affirmed that I had, he said, "That's it. That is all. Your attention has wavered. This is not how one studies an Upanishad. No class today." It was not a YouTube class while sipping coffee. The jobs given to Gurudev early morning were only to ensure his regularity in rising early and to secure his alertness in body and mind in the Brahma Muhurta 3 to 5 pm. A very peaceful time, unmolested by the thought waves of a materialistic world. This is the discipline and attention demanded by the teacher to chisel out Swami Chinmayananda, a supreme teacher who chiseled millions. Hari Om. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Hari Om. श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय।